Hey, everybody, what's going on? Jeff Rieger, another episode of the Daily Ticket. This one for Friday, 17th of November, 2023. I'm in my car if you happen to be watching this on YouTube. Long day, 5-hour plus radio show talking about Michigan and the latest updates. Before we get into you, please follow the Daily Ticket wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, like, review. I was looking on Apple before this podcast, and I got like 5 new reviews. So thank you. I promise you. Get a couple more reviews. I'm going to pick a couple at random. We'll get you on the Daily Ticket. We'll do a little trivia, you versus your Daily Ticket subscribers. And the winner will get to take on a 97-1 The Ticket personality. I say this all the time, but I'll be the host. I'll be Alex Trebek. I will be Bob Barker. Help control the pet population. Have your pets spaded and neutered. Remember that? Of course you do. Anyway, there's no reason for me to delay anymore. It's been a long day. Just got off the radio. We're talking Michigan. And Michigan backing down. Have you heard the latest? Of course you have. You can't hide from this. You know, it first started with Jim Harbaugh saying, something might have happened, but I had nothing to do with it. Then it went to, if something happened, it definitely wasn't a big deal. Then it went to, you know what? Maybe we broke the rules, but everybody's doing it. Then it went to, oh, you just hate us. We're the victims. We want our justice. Then it went to, we're taking your ass to court, Big Ten. We're going to go get a TRO, a temporary restraining order. We're going to fight like hell. And then it went to, okay, we'll accept your 3-game suspension. One of those games already served. That's what happened. Jim Harbaugh, Michigan, Santa Ono, Ward Manual. Yesterday, they officially announced they're done. They're backing down. They're not going to court. That's over. Michigan spent a freaking week after the suspension came down from Tony Battetti in the Big Ten. They spent a fucking week yelling and screaming, we want due process. You can't even suspend us. You don't know the rules. You're just pandering to the other Big Ten teams. We're going to get you. We got a judge. We'll get our judge ready. We're going to go get a TRO. You wait and see. We're the victims. It's us against everybody. And all Michigan fans echoed their sentiments. For the last week, it's been ridiculous. Free Jim Harbaugh. Blah, blah, blah. I was watching Michigan versus Rick Pitino, St. John's, Madison Square Garden. A lot of Michigan fans there. The Free Jim Harbaugh chant broke out there. Free Jim Harbaugh. I remember after last week, Michigan beat Penn State, Sharon Moore, Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan football team. They went to the Michigan hockey game. Crowd broke out into Free Jim Harbaugh. 1,700 alums signing a petition to free Jim Harbaugh. Bet every player, every Michigan fan, bet. Let's go, bet. I'm sorry if I'm being overdramatic, but I just spent 5 hours talking about this, and Michigan fans have nothing left. They have nothing left. It's over. Here's the statement from Michigan. This morning, the university, Coach Harbaugh, and the Big Ten resolved their pending litigation. The conference agreed to close its investigation, and the university and Coach Harbaugh agreed to accept the 3-game suspension. Coach Harbaugh, with the university's support, decided to accept the sanction to return the focus to our student athletes and their performance on the field. The conference has confirmed that it's not aware of any information suggesting Coach Harbaugh's involvement into the allegations. The university continues to cooperate fully with the NCAA investigation. Okay, so here's what I get out of this. Michigan wanted the fight. At some point, they realized they weren't going to win. So they backed down to the Big Ten. The Big Ten lost absolutely nothing. In fact, Tony Battetti, the Big Ten commissioner, looks like a genius. Do you remember the difficult situation he was thrown into to begin with? Sitting around with the ADs, the presidents, and the coaches being bitched at because Michigan's cheating? He decided to do something about it. He told Michigan he was going to do something about it. Michigan responded with a letter essentially saying, fuck you, Big Ten. You can't do shit to us. I mean, that's what it was. You don't have the power to suspend us. And sure, maybe we did it, but everybody else does it too. That's how Michigan reacted. They said, if you do anything to us, we will fight it in court. We'll go get a TRO. We got a judge. We're ready to go. Big Ten took their sweet old time. Last Friday, a week ago today, they handed down a 3-game suspension when Jim Harbaugh was in the air on his way to Happy Valley. Jim said he didn't know about it until he saw it on somebody's phone. At that time, it was on. Michigan, Santa Ono, the president, Ward Manuel, the AD, everybody was furious. It's us against everybody. They were dramatic. They were fighting. We need justice. We want our due process. You've heard this over the last week. Every Michigan fan got involved in this. Ward Manuel wrote a scathing letter to the Big Ten, urging, begging, demanding due process. Santa Ono stuck up for Jim Harbaugh this entire time. They're ready to go to war. They're ready to fight. They're ready to get Jimmy back on the sidelines for the Maryland game, which could be and probably will be win number 1,000 for Michigan. And how does it end? You get all of Michigan backing you. You get the talking heads on ESPNs, the Desmond Howards, the Charles Woodsons backing you. And how does it end? You back down. You back down. Michigan backed down from the Big Ten. Tony Battetti won. You lost. Now, Michigan fans will say, hey, we backed down. But what about the Big Ten? They wanted to punish us more, but they couldn't because we were brilliant and told them we were going to go get the TRO. Not true. Big Ten won. Tony Battetti took an awful, impossible situation and handled it masterfully. And you cried and you whined and you cried due process and you acted like a child, if we're being completely honest. And at the end of the day, you backed down. So the big question is, why'd you back down? Why did Michigan decide not to go to court today? The answer, I have no idea. Other than something else was going to come out. The Big Ten is working with the NCAA. Something else was going to come out. And I would assume if Michigan went to court and Harbaugh took the stand and everything that's talked about becomes official record and in discovery, everybody finds out what else the NCAA or the Big Ten has on Michigan. That's why I think they did what they did. They backed down. Because during the course of the week, Michigan and Jim Harbaugh had zero intention of not going to court, to fight for their honor, their justice, their due process, even though they got due process because the Big Ten opened up an investigation. They did the and they decided that they're going to suspend you for 3 games. As far as the part where Jim doesn't know, we talked about this yesterday in the podcast. The Big Ten, Michigan, everybody reiterates that Jim doesn't know. Cool. It doesn't matter. Jim's going down. He needs to be suspended. Some people might even argue that he should be fired. It happened on his watch. It doesn't matter if he knew about it or not. The suspension actually is light, I feel. And that's what Michigan fans are going to tell you too. We're geniuses. We told them we're going to get the TRO. We're going to take them to court. Thus, they couldn't go as hard at us as they wanted to. We at least get Jim during the week. Now, I am a little bummed, I'm going to be honest with you, because I want to see Harbaugh Ryan Day. And I actually think this kind of sucks for Ryan Day, because if he loses to Michigan, he loses to Michigan for the 3rd straight time. And after all the advantages he's getting, there's no Jim Harbaugh. They're going through craziness. And you can't beat Michigan? Are you kidding me? And then if he beats Michigan, he didn't even beat Jim Harbaugh. He can't say he beat Jim Harbaugh. And there's going to be no great handshake in center field either. So I'm kind of bummed that Jim can't coach because the drama of that game next week, I think it's based on Jim being there and Ryan Day being there. But getting back to Jim Harbaugh and what he's done. Like, think about this for a second, okay? Everybody wants to argue, he didn't know. He didn't know. See? NCAA, Big Ten says he didn't know. So on Jim's watch, and this is only over the last year, FBI investigating the OC, NCAA investigation recruiting violations, NCAA fast tracking the investigation on a cheating scandal. Big Ten calls your bluff. You couldn't argue. You don't deny it. You lose your credibility. Just 2 days ago, their co-DC, Klink, he deletes his Twitter. What about CMU and that fiasco? What about the LLC, Connor Stallions on it with Blake Corum? So much stuff has happened. And that's even before you get to some of the weird hires from Jim Harbaugh, the Shemmy Schembechlers of the world, or even what happened last year with the gun charge from Ozzie Smith. Jim should be happy that he's got a freaking job. And the Big Ten should be happy because they beat Michigan. What did I miss? What didn't I say? I think I pretty much got it all. Michigan fans really have no leg to stand on. It's over. For the longest time, it was like, well, you know what? Everybody does it. Or it's not that big of a deal. Or we really didn't get a great advantage from it. Or, well, look what the Buckeyes are doing. Ryan Day's brother has a PI firm, and he's the one who turned us in. Michigan fans have nothing left. And I've said this before, I am a Michigan fan. But I'm not one of those types of Michigan fans that want to get so upset, claim I'm the victim, ready to fight for your right, and then at the last second, you back out. Big Ten beat you. You back down. You should have played the villains from the get-go instead of playing the victims. That's what you should have done. But what about your due process? So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Jim Harbaugh cannot be happy. He was set to go to court. Santa stuck up for Jim this entire time. You can make the case that Santa and Ward did what they had to do to keep Jim Harbaugh, because if they didn't, Harbaugh after this season probably leaves. But don't you think he's going to leave anyway? And I ask you, do you want him to stay? On one hand, you say to yourself, yes, he's a great coach. We've won back-to-back Big Ten titles, probably going to win another one, could win a national championship. But on the other hand, how much crap do you have to go through being a Michigan fan these days with everything that Jim has put you through? So you tell me, what a wild day. I feel like I'm missing something. But the bottom line is, I can't believe Michigan backed down after putting up such a stink. I just can't believe it. The other thing, too, by the way, is why did they create such a stink to begin with? If they knew that the TRO wasn't going to be granted, let's say they just knew they couldn't get it, even though everybody said they got a judge and it's going to be in a Washtenaw County court. So what judge in Ann Arbor isn't going to give them the TRO? But if they knew it was a long shot or if they couldn't get it to begin with, then why go through this theatrical bullshit? Why not treat the Big Ten better when you get the initial letter from them? Why question if they have the power to even do anything to you? Why admit to what happened and then say, but everybody else does it? Michigan, from the entire get-go, what they did, their whole plan, it makes no sense to me. They have million-dollar lawyers. I understand it's probably a yes-man society. Nobody wants to hear somebody's differing opinion if it's against what everybody else believes at Michigan. But somebody should have stepped up. And I do believe somebody maybe did step up. I also wonder about Santa Ono, the president that loves Jim Harbaugh. It's one great thing to love your coach. But I do wonder if somebody from the actual academic side pulled Santa aside and said, dude, we are accused of cheating. In the academic world, that's about as bad as it gets. Have you seen what happens to students that cheat? Yet you're sticking up with Jim and you take this whole thing so cavalier. Maybe somebody got into Santa's ear. Maybe somebody got into Ward's ear. I find it hard to believe that Jim accepted this on his own. So I think that's what we got. That's where we stand. I do think this is a good thing because this seems like closure, doesn't it? Jim is done. The Big Ten is done with Jim and Michigan. Now, the NCAA is not done. NCAA is putting together all kinds of things. So they're going to come at you later. You don't have to worry about them right now. But I do feel today is almost closure. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to listen to Michigan fans beat their chest and yell at people that are the messengers telling you what they think instead of what actually happened. Like, Michigan fans should be upset with Ward and Santa and Jim. Michigan pandered to their fans. They got them all enraged in a fit of fury. We want justice. We want justice. And then they back down. If you're a Michigan fan and you went along for the ride and you stuck up for Michigan at every turn, you should feel silly. But more importantly, you should feel angry at the people that did this to you, your leaders. So that's how I feel. But getting back to closure, this should be closure because at the end of the day, Michigan fans and Michigan still has a chance for greatness. Okay. First of all, Michigan fans should not feel bad about this. Even if they turned into one of those dudes that were yelling and screaming free Jim Harbaugh, because you didn't do anything and you just took the key of your school and you followed suit. However, if you're a Michigan fan, you should enjoy the hell out of the 2 remaining games. You should hope like hell you beat the Buckeyes. You should go win the Big Ten title. You should enjoy Tony Petitti having to hand the Big Ten title trophy over to Jim Harbaugh. And then go win a national championship. Like, today is closure. Because from now on, we know Jim's suspended. We know nothing else is happening to Michigan. We do know that the team's going to be able to play. So go play, win a national title, and you got one out. You got one out against all the haters and all the critics and all the cynics. You win the whole damn thing. That's 8 wins in a row without Connor Stallions. That's a national title. So people can say you cheated, and you can just do this. Give him the ring. That's not the middle finger. Right there. Ring finger. Give him the ring. Right? So you still got a way out if you win the whole damn thing. But I'm excited because we can stop talking about courts and cheating, and Connor Stallions, and everything that went along over the last month. And we can start focusing on football games, which starts tomorrow when the team is taking on Maryland for the university's 1,000th win. So that's where we stand. That's the daily ticket. I know I've been a little bit all over the place. I'm exhausted. Michigan fans have beaten me down. I think I've hit on everything. If I missed anything, let me know in the comment section below. Please do me a favor. Download, subscribe, rate, review the daily ticket. Let's get to some quick comments. Here's some comments. Yesterday, we talked about, guess what? We talked about Harbaugh. I know, shocking, right? Let me read some comments from the daily ticket of yesterday, if I can find it. It was titled, Did He Know? It was all about Jim Harbaugh, if you knew. I mean, I don't think it matters at this point. I think we've been through this, but whatever. Here we go. Comment section below. Let's start with a good comment, shall we? A good comment says the following. Great job keeping us informed. Go Blue. That's from Charles Sox Ford, 4555. Another one says, my guy, 100%, flexing the muscle. That's from Marlon Milano, 289. These are good comments. How about one more good comment? I think I deserve it after the day I've had. You're the only Michigan reporter that isn't mentally unstable. I'll be happy to subscribe on Spotify and leave a review when they let me. How about that? All right. Cool. And then there's the bad comments. This one simply says, and I want to find this one because this one is so wrong about me. Where's the proof these people gave him money? There is proof that Michigan did not give him money. What a good, unbiased reporter. Okay, that, of course, is talking about Connor Stallions and the fact that he did not file an expense report in his time at Michigan. I said that proves nothing. People want to fight me on that. I still think Michigan, of course, could have funded this. By the way, there's more coming out. I think that's obvious. NCAA just started their investigation. It's been going on about 3 weeks. They're going to find more. And maybe part of the reason that Michigan backed down from the TRO today was because they found more. And the NCAA wanted to share it to the Big Ten. And the Big Ten was going to use it to win the TRA hearing. So Michigan thought, let's back down because we don't want that to become public. So when Patty Grimes, 9188, says to me, where's the proof these people gave him money? There is no proof. Michigan did not give him money. Good unbiased reporting. I'm not reporting anything. I'm giving you what is written. I'm giving you what is reported. I'm not doing the reporting. And then I just give you my opinion. That's the job. All right? Not a journalist, as people have tried to tell me I am. In this instance, I'm not even a reporter. I'm just some schmuck doing a podcast. And I happen to enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy it as well. I hope you enjoy your Friday as well, too. So let's celebrate. I feel we're almost done with this crap. We can watch Michigan beat Maryland. And then we all get excited for Michigan, Ohio State. And again, if you're a Michigan fan, you don't need my permission. I'm nobody. But enjoy yourself. Because I have a feeling it's about to get worse before it gets better. Once the offseason hits and the NCAA concludes their investigation, oh boy, I think it's going to be bad. But that's the Daily Ticket. It's been fun, everybody. Again, I've been a little bit all over the place. I admit this, but that's what happens after doing 5 hours of radio in the Red Wings game. So I'll be better tomorrow. Actually, there is no podcast tomorrow. I'll be better on Monday. We'll have reaction to the Lions taking on the Chicago Bears. We'll have reaction to Maryland and Michigan State. We'll have Maryland and Michigan and whatever else we decide to talk about. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Please rate, subscribe, review. You guys rock. And enjoy your weekend. And I'm going to go to sleep after I find a way to get this up on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. See ya.